everybody, welcome back to the MaxBang. My name is Max, and I like to drink coffee. The MaxBang is a half-hour hangout, so grab a cup of whatever your favorite beverage is, have a seat, and how's your mother? I know what you're thinking. Wow, Max, those are some really sharp glasses. Thanks. I know. These are what you call blue light glasses. If any of you have any experience with that, please let me know in the comments below. Also, before we get started, make sure to go ahead and comment below what you're drinking, if you're drinking a beverage. And go ahead and hit that thumbs up button so that YouTube knows that this is the type of content that you would like to see in the future. I think that, honestly, is the way we get around whatever's going on with the notification system. These days in YouTube, it's a pain in the ass. I think a lot of creators, large and small, all are struggling with it a little bit. We want to be able to get our content out there to the people that want to see it. So if you, as a viewer, hit the thumbs up button, that helps you out, that helps me out. And if you really like this type of video, you want to see more in the future, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I am wearing my glasses. These are blue light glasses. I did a weird... You know when you do those weird YouTube nights where you're like, how did I get? I start watching a video on, how to edit a certain type of special effects for a video, and then all of a sudden I'm down in like how Spartans used a phalanx, or like how Spartans used shield and spears to defeat these guys at this battle of Thermopylae or whatever, whatever. It's one of those deep dives where you're like, how in the hell did I end up here? But where I ended up was blue light glasses, and apparently it's a big deal for your eyesight. If you are someone who happens to stare at a screen all day, then it's possible that part of what might contribute to your deteriorating eyesight is staring at a screen all day, which is weird when you have to stare at a screen all day. I don't think I've said that enough, stare at a screen all day. So I got these glasses on Amazon, they're $5. A little bit of a tease. I also am about to be doing a sunglasses and blue light glasses sponsorship deal with I don't know if I can say I'm sure I can. Christopher Kloos, Cloos. I believe they're a Danish company. They hit me up out of nowhere and they were like, hey man, we like your style. We want to send you some sunglasses. What do you think? And I was like, psh, okay. Then I looked at their Twitter banner, and wouldn't you know it, they're basically the Tom Brady their sunglasses. And blue light computer glasses. So I was like, yeah, bro, I'm in. Anything Tom can do, I can do 1,000 times worse. Anyway. Oh, also today I am drinking a vanilla latte, which is a little bit out of the ordinary for old Max. Typically I drink black coffee, and I know I've told this story before, but it merits telling again. The reason I drink black coffee is I spent years forgetting to buy milk and sugar in my house, and I needed that caffeine in the morning to get my ass to work, especially after I was binge drinking all night. You know how it goes. But today it was rainy and cold, and Brittany was coming back. Brittany woke up, got a workout in. Good for you. Bravo. And on her way back, she usually brings me a cup of coffee. And so, but today I was feeling a little daring. Dare I say daring. And I said, well, the problem is I don't really like milk too much. I stopped drinking milk a while ago. I heard it was kind of bad for you. Is it really bad for you? Who knows? But I stopped drinking it because now when I drink it, I get an upset stomach. I can still eat eggs. I don't like cheese normally, so it's down to eggs. And I told her to get me an almond milk vanilla latte. So I am really just living it up. Congratulations to coronavirus for being 1 year old. or let me rephrase. Congratulations to the United States for having 1 year of actual lockdown this year. Sucks. It's our happy anniversary. Last year in March, I think, was around the first time everybody started locking down. Everybody started taking this virus seriously. Everyone started thinking, hey, man, this sucks. I sure hope we don't spend a year locked down like this. And wouldn't you know it, here we are. 500,000 people dead. Not great. But that actually does lead me into, I had an interesting thought that I wanted to talk about really quick on the MaxBang. Also, thank you so much for all your comments. I'm going to get to a couple of them today. If you have any sort of question at all, leave it in the comments below, and I will be able to answer them in the next episode. But the thing I wanted to talk about today was I was talking with a buddy of mine, probably the smartest, at least the smartest person, the most mature, emotionally mature person I know. He's wicked smart. I don't know if he's the smartest. I don't really know how you gauge the smartest. How many PhDs? Whatever. He's very, very smart. I've known him for a long time. And we were talking about sort of keeping your perspective, keeping your head up on things like this. I'm going to take these glasses off because they feel ridiculous. I'm doing my impression of that lovely coworker I had who would click his glasses. We were talking about keeping your perspective, keeping your sort of optimism, I guess. And he said, it's like when you go on a long hike. If you go on a long hike, especially the ones around here, sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it's beautiful. You're like on the side of a mountain. You can look over. There's the ocean. You can see for miles and miles. It's pretty. It's it's picturesque. And then sometimes, usually, if it's a long enough hike, there's parts where you're like in the middle of the woods. You don't really know where you are. It's not very pretty, but it's you're on the trail, but you're sort of in the thick of it. It's kind of blah. And so he mentioned that as you're going along a hike like this, sometimes the view is great, sometimes it's beautiful, and sometimes the view is crappy. It's not great. But you don't judge a hike by the view. If you were trying to judge a hike by the view at any one particular time, you wouldn't get a clear picture of what it actually encompasses, what it actually is. It wouldn't show the full picture, and it certainly wouldn't show where you are in your destination. If I'm starting here and I'm trying to get there, sometimes the view is going to be great and sometimes the view is going to be crappy. But if I judged it by either one of those things, I wouldn't get a clear picture of what's actually going on. The important thing is to note that I'm still making progress and moving forward. Not that, wow, everything's great right now, it'll always be great, or everything looks crappy right now, it'll always look really crappy. The important thing is sometimes things are great, sometimes things are not great, don't look great. And you never really know how long those things are going to last. You always sort of hope that, it'll wane back to the other one. But the important thing to remember is you're constantly moving forward towards some sort of a destination that you wanted to be on. I thought it was the deepest, most philosophically enriching shit I've heard this past week. We were dead sober talking about it, if that helps, if that shapes anything at all. But yeah, I thought that was a nice little reminder. And so hopefully for you guys, I'd like to gently remind you to keep your perspective in that way. And also, that's sort of what these videos are meant to do. One of the comments I really liked was Purple Witch. First of all, great name. We just finished WandaVision last week. Spectacular show. Highly recommend it. Purple Witch commented on one of my last videos. I've been feeling down today, then I watched this. You cheered me up. Thank you, Max, from Bex over here in the UK. P.S. Hope you are all doing okay. Thank you, Purple Witch. I hope you have a lot of blue and red magic going on. I hope you're having a really good day. That's sort of the point of these. It's it's partly something that I need to remind myself to do. So this is thank you guys for giving me some sort of a accountability. And it's also some, the idea is you stop your mind from going a million different directions and at once, and you sort of center yourself. And you're like, how are we doing? Where are we going? Are we making progress? That sort of thing. So that was what I wanted to cover this week. I hope you guys are all doing well. I wanted to get to a couple of comments on the last video. And then I wanted to get back to the, I liked doing those icebreaker questions. That was something that I sort of fell into last time, and I think we should keep doing that because that was really fun. Here's another thing, for some housekeeping things. I'm happy to read the comments. I think we should do this. I think we should, if you have a question you want me to answer or something you want me to talk about, leave it as a comment in the comments below. I don't want to read your name. Just no reason to. And honestly, if you have something that you want to ask that for any reason, you don't want your name attached to, I would say either DM me on Instagram. It's probably the easiest. Or Twitter. DM me on Instagram. Or set up a temp email and just send me an email. mnstcb@gmail.com. There's a question that a friend of mine and I have been fascinated with, and I'd love to know if you find this as mind-blowing as I do, / what your answer is. Are your thoughts organized as an internal monologue or something else, such as pictures, images, or a cloud of concepts? Wow. Holy moly. My friend and I both essentially have internal monologues as thoughts and find ourselves carrying on multiple thought processes while performing tasks, whereas a third friend of mine has thoughts that are more organized like concepts in her brain. She's not a multitasker like me and friend number one, who can often get sidetracked from whatever it is we were working on. However, friend number 3 has trouble forming sentences to express her thoughts. For example, she says something, but it often doesn't come out the way she intended. Looking forward to the next episode. Keep banging. That is a dynamite question. Are my thoughts organized as internal monologue? First of all, yes, my thoughts are organized as an internal monologue. If I close my eyes, when I meditate, I have a lot of visual representations of those thoughts, whether or not they're memories, whether or not they're sort of created in my brain. But for the most part, during the day, as I'm walking around with my eyes open, I hear a voice, my voice. Sometimes it's my voice. Sometimes it's like an evil version of my voice. And it is very, very echoey, constantly. It's sort of a constant barrage of echoey sentiments. One thing I would highly recommend you do, this will really freak you out. They have videos on YouTube where they mimic or they represent what it would be like to have schizophrenia. And so you see like a first person view of somebody and it's like a bedroom or whatever. And they're like going to their desk to do homework. And then you hear all these voices, or you hear other sounds, like somebody rapping at your window or like a creak in a floorboard. And like the camera like looks over and sometimes there's something there and sometimes there's not there. It's really freaky. Or like sometimes it's like, you have to do your homework. And sometimes it's like, oh, you forgot that thing in the 5th grade. And like, oh, you're hungry. Like, go get something to eat. Like, and it's a real freaky representation. But honestly, it feels similar to how I feel normally. I don't think I'm a schizophrenic. I mean, I hope I'm not, knock on wood. But I definitely feel that way. I'm walking around with constant like one line ideas just pinging back and forth. Now, I think a lot of that is sort of self-inflicted ADD. I'm on my phone a ton, especially in the last couple of years. I think that one of the things I like about exercise is it forces me to focus on one thing, or it clears my mind, at least very, very temporarily, of that sort of constant random generator sound. Meditation is supposed to help that quite a bit. I think that anyway, to answer your original question, essentially I have internal monologues as thoughts. I have visual representations of things for certain things. And I know that like when I'm trying to meditate with my eyes closed, a lot of times it is a lot of visual stuff. And the practice that I have is, as my eyes are closed, all of this shit's happening. There's like a storm over here. There's a cannonball. There's like a Pikachu. You know what I mean? There's like a sprint or whatever. I think a lot of it is, one thing that I've figured out is, as a mental exercise, if you've ever done any construction or plaster or drywall or anything, they have that like sort of big sort of rectangular metal plate, and you scoop up some plaster and you just sort of plaster it across over a hole. So I do that across. I see, in my brain, in my mind's eye, I see a plaster, a tool that like plasters over everything, and it creates a white wall. And then I see my two hands and I just push the white wall, and it just flies back, 1,000 miles an hour for 1,000 feet or 1,000 miles. And it just creates this gigantic, vast white, like a white cyc. If you've ever been on a photo shoot, CYC, just a big, white nothingness. I used to do black nothingness, like you're in the dark, but I found that this helped me made me more aware of the absence of things. In the dark, you don't know if there's a raccoon or a person or a chair or whatever. But when it's, the lights were on, that's sort of what I would see. And then things would sort of pop up again as I'm meditating, and then I would realize that things were popping up, and then I would plaster over everything, push the wall back again. And that was I know that doesn't make any sense. It's kind of weird. But that was my mental exercise to, I don't know, just plaster over everything and then just push it all, let it all like fade away. I know that lately when I've been trying to go to sleep, I have pictured myself explaining wrestling moves, a very specific wrestling move, as if I was coaching back when I used to do coaching. I used to coach clinics, and I used to do high school stuff, and I'm explaining a move, and it takes all of my physical and mental acuity to explain the move. That's why I kind of like it. I have to verbalize what I'm thinking and show it with my physical body. So that's why I like to do that in my mind's eye when I'm falling asleep, because it's a very sort of long step-by-step thing, and I can sort of explain it that way. So that's a really cool question. We're jumping into the mind's eye here, but I loved that question. Thank you so much. Oh, quick shout out to, kind of hard to block your name on this one, Brittany. Today I'm drinking iced coffee with, get this, ice cubes also made of coffee. That's awesome. Shout out to Brittany's brother, who is, as of today, I think, a 165-pound NAIA national wrestling champ. Very, very cool. That is congratulations. That is really, really difficult, and it's always cool to win a tournament at anything. Wrestling, I think, is the coolest thing you can possibly do. So yes, of course, it's the coolest thing you can win a tournament at. But let's see if I won any other tournaments. I went to a Magic the Gathering tournament and lost in the first round. I went to a Rocks Paper Scissors tournament and lost in the semifinals. That was fucking bullshit. That was bullshit. You know what? I fucking forgot about that. I forgot about it because the person I lost to in the semifinals was clearly cheating. She would throw slow. Does that make sense? She would like sort of throw slow and sort of change mid-throw. But it was at a bar, so it's like kind of hard to get like everyone to understand that, this person was like clearly cheating at Rocks, Paper, Scissors. I mean, whatever. Fucking loser. Okay, perfect. So those are the two questions I wanted to answer today. It's funny, I don't even know why I stopped doing these. This is one of those things where I hope you enjoy the MaxBang. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. And hopefully you sort of put this on and do the dishes. You put this on and you fold laundry. You put this on, you go for a walk. Oh, that was something I wanted to ask. Would you prefer me to put this on a podcasting network? Would you listen to this as just an audio podcast? Because a lot of times what I like watching the video, especially if I'm on my laptop. I have multiple tabs. I'm not worried about tabs being open or closed. But I know that some people, everyone's got a dog these days. And a lot of people like sort of just listening to this audio. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to start putting this on an audio-only platform. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts or whatever the hell it is. The point of these was to be more of a mukbang, coffee bong, max bong, mukbang. But like I said, if you want them on Apple or podcast networks, I'm happy to do that. But again, yeah, this is one of those things where, for me, doing them is often quite nice, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I enjoy doing these. I enjoy putting them out. I enjoy reading your comments. I enjoy you guys interacting with each other a lot. I find that is really, really rewarding, and I want to make sort of a mini community of people who are interested in helping each other sort of take a moment, sort of refresh, not get sort of just bogged into a track. I find that helps me a lot. A lot of times I'll be working and I'll be like, okay, I'll take a break. I'll play a quick game of chess, or I'll get on Instagram for like 2 seconds, and then bang, 40 minutes goes by, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? I was just doing great, and now I'm like, I'm terrible, So these like recenter, refocus things, I really enjoy doing. What I'm embarrassed about is I stopped doing these MaxBangs because I don't know. I was a little bummed that the viewers were so inconsistent. That's why I'm always bitching about the YouTube algorithm, or the YouTube's ability to put out notifications or whatever. That's why, for example, I think these videos are going to be up every Friday morning. I know I'm asking you guys a lot of questions. What day do you prefer these on? Friday morning or Monday morning? You tell me. It's between those 2 days, and that's all it's going to be. I feel like Friday is a good day. But I stopped doing them. I don't really know why I stopped doing them. I had a lot on my plate. I had a lot of other stuff to do. But so often, it's not like I can't find an extra, half hour to record this, half hour to edit this, half hour to put it on. It's an hour and a half a week. Like, come on, Max, you can fucking figure that out. I feel that same way about athletics, What's a workout? 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Plus a shower? Like, come on, dude. You can't find 30 minutes a day to work out. Like, figure it out. So anyway, I'm happy I'm back doing these. I'm happy you guys are back helping me do these. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comments below. Okay. This is a question that I recently found that I love. So hold on to your hats. It's going to be a little intense. What board game do you like the most? I'll say again. What board game do you like the most? Man, oh man, you just said a mouthful, huh? Here's where I stand. I think that... Yeah. What the fuck was that? There's some goo on the top of my vanilla latte. That's disgusting. I think that when it comes to board game, what's funny is that chess and checkers, they don't even like pop into my head when I think of board games. Isn't that weird? And they are probably the oldest board games there is. Maybe Go, the Asian game with the white and black tiles. What board game do I like the most? I want to say Clue because it's fun and cool, and I always thought I'd be like a sleuth detective when I grew up. I also thought there'd be a lot more murder in my life. And action. You know, you grew up on comic books and Clue. I like Clue a lot. I recently just figured out how to play Clue sophisticated in a sort of an advanced way. I used to think it was just like if I ask you something and you have it or don't have it, that's it. But then if you think about it a little bit more, if I know that you don't have this card and then you ask that guy if he has that card, then I know that, do you know what I mean? So you can think about it a little bit slightly more advanced. I really liked Clue. I play a lot of online chess. I don't think I'm very good. I just play it as like a time waster. I think my favorite game, and I didn't really love Monopoly. Don't really like checkers. I think checkers is kind of stupid. I think my favorite game might be Sorry. The classic board game of slides and knocking somebody back to start and all this shit. The tricky part is I actually made about 30 or 40 additional rules to Sorry way back when. I used to play it a lot when I was drunk. It was super, super fun. It's a fun game to play when you're drunk because people just sorry people for no reason. One time I realized I loved playing Sorry when I was playing with my family and my cousins at Christmas. And one of my cousins had the got a 6 or whatever, 5. There is no 6. He got a 7. And he could have put his pawn back towards home into the safe zone, but instead he went past the safe zone just so he could sorry me and send me back to my start. You know, he did something completely against his own self-interest just so that he could hurt me. And that's when I was like, I love this game. And I also love my cousins. I made up a bunch of Sorry rules, and they were excellent. One was like, switch 2 pawns, neither of them can be your own. Another card was like, I used to write them on my old business cards. And so we just threw those in the deck with all the other ones. It was just like a bunch of fancy extra cards. I should have fucking sold it. It was so stupid. They were just such good rules. God, they were so good. One of them was like, turn this pawn on its side. He's drunk. He has to walk backwards for the rest of the game. One is like, sorry, any player on the board. One is like, sorry, yourself and one other player. It was nuts. Great rules. I think Sorry is up there. That's probably my favorite one. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Okay, I think we have time for one more. Let's see. What is your favorite day of the week? Ugh. Loaded question. I can rank the days of the week. That's easy. Saturday's number 1. Friday's number 2. Sunday's number 3. Thursday's number 4. Monday's number 5. Wednesday's number 6, Tuesday's number 7. Friday's number 1 because it's the beginning of the weekend. You do a little bit of work, you get a little productive, and you get to get fucking rowdy on Friday night. Saturday, you have the whole day free. You got nothing to do. Sunday is great, except for Sunday night, as you feel it's like the beginning of your. It's the beginning of the end. You're kind of sad. You're kind of glum, kind of melancholy. Monday's fucking terrible because it's the beginning of the week. Wednesdays sucks. Tuesday and Wednesday both suck, but Wednesday is slightly funny because you can say it's hump day. That's originally why I started putting my YouTube videos up on Tuesday, because I was like, wow, this is the worst fucking day of the week. I hope I can make this day a little bit less crappy for a lot of people. Thursday used to be my favorite night to go out, actually. when I had a real job when I was in college. Thursday night was popping. Thursday night was popping because it was like people who really liked to party, I guess, or go out and socialize or do something enough so that they were willing to have a slight hangover on their Friday day. Thursday night was always a real rowdy. We had a God, not this episode, but next episode. Remind me. Somebody in the comments below remind me. And if you've made it this far, then bless your goddamn soul cycle, because remind me to tell you the stories about the Tap. The Tap was a bar, my college bar in Hartford, Connecticut. I went to Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut, and the Tap was not on campus, but literally across the street from campus. It was a 400 square foot bar. There was a pool table in the back that didn't have a cue ball. People would you're not supposed to, people would just rip cigarettes and open a window. The floors were sticky from about 40 years of old beer. They had nickel cocktail drink night, nickel liquor, and penny pitcher night. And so I remember one time we would buy pitchers and have pitcher chugging contests. That was insane. I remember one time I got to the front of the line and to get a drink, and this girl next to me reaches into her purse. It was nickel drink night, so you get a nickel and you get a cocktail, a liquor, nickel liquor. She reaches into her purse and she gets 2 handfuls of change, and she just drops it on the bar. Change scatters everywhere. She goes, "I'm buying a whole bar drinks." And the poor bartender was like, fuck. All right, what do you want? That was a great bar. God, there's so many good stories at that bar. But unfortunately, alas, they will have to wait until next time. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the MaxBang. Hope you're going to have a great week and keep banging. Bye, everybody.